Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming. We're really happy to have this turn up. I know we had high expectation, but the facts are better than what we expected. So really, really thank you that you took the time. And can I just ask that you clap hands for yourself for the support you're showing us, and it's much appreciated. And as well, also happy to really clap the hand for the whole team, Bob and everyone for leading this and really making this a reality. And going through the comment, we're talking with a few people. We already the comment of the people were like, we really appreciate what you guys are doing, and it's growing and it's really impacting us. And that's the reason why we exist. We exist to create an impact in our community, to create a positive impact in the life of each and every one of us. So really, really thank you. So today really it's one thing after a year of existence. We would like as well to present to you a bit of what we have done and who we are, where we're going, and why we exist. So I will just ask randomly if anyone can tell us what do you know about the 243 Pro Network. What is it for you? What do you understand? Just by show of hands, and I don't know if you can just tell us. Don't be shy. Tell us what you know about us. What do you know? Just a quick one. So maybe I would take, you're in front line. You know, they say never sit on the front line in a conference or anything like that. But just tell us, what do you know about the 243? What's your understanding of it?
Hi, everyone. I really don't know much about it, but since I joined it, I just know that it's a platform that is able to regroup or brings everyone with the talent or with the business or business idea together to work as a platform. That's what I know.
Wow. No, thanks a lot. Really appreciate, right? And that's thank you for your answer. And we'd like to hear another answer before we carry on. Thanks a lot. That's a really one of a part of what we're trying to do as well. And we're really thankful that you understand it that way. So anyone else that have an answer as well? What do you understand? What do you know about 243 and what do you understand from it? Or do you think it's beneficial or anything like that? So anyone? Fiko fio, koko maleke, koko maleke. My wonderful sister there. Maybe, you. Yes, you.
Okay, from my understanding, you guys are basically the plug. You plug everyone.
It's fine.
You bring the community together so we're able to do, great things and help each other out.
Yeah.
And most importantly, just build each other up together as a Congolese community.
All right.
Yes.
No, thanks a lot. That's pretty much yes. So you two are right. And I'll just start with the genesis of what we are. What we are is we're just a platform that really want to empower our community through 4 pillars. And I would like us to really go into the genesis of 243 Pro Network, right? And before that, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Tim Mwepu, and I'm part of the team, the core team of 243 Pro Network. And just as well, a bit of 243, we commenced during the plight of a pandemic. So exactly on the 20th of April last year. And the organization just came about as a direct response to the growing need for collaboration, networking, and open discussion among entrepreneurs and professionals. So the thing is if I have somebody, a Congolese person that works in a mine, and I have a Congolese person that have trucks, right? Normally, they might not know each other. But the Congolese person that works in the mine needs truck to move his goods, his minerals from one place to another, right? And most of the time, the person will go and look for logistic companies, imperial logistic, and all this type of logistic, which might not contribute to the community, right? So now, through 243 Network, we find ourselves into the needs of collaboration, and we try to bring the two sides together. An example I'm giving is actually something that's really happened, right? It's somebody that has a logistic company, Congolese guy that had a logistic companies, and another one that's needed mining minerals to move around, right? And as another testimony, another person that as a big farming business, and it provides maize and all type of things from South Africa to Congo in Lubumbashi. And that person has so much merchandise that he didn't have a truck or vehicles to bring on the other side. And it is not a person that, because of the pandemic, didn't have clients anymore. And suddenly in the network, they meet each other and they can collaborate. And it's also with professionals. It happened with professionals, people that need jobs. It happened with mentorship. It happened with all sorts of startups and that needs to go and boost the business. So it's all type of things that we do just to contribute to the upliftment of the community. So the program statement, we notice a minimal networking, a limited collaboration, and fragile mutual support because we have, let's tell each other, we have a problem of trust that was built from generation in our community. And that's what we're trying to address as well, is build up on that trust and know that my brother, my Congolese brother, can actually provide a service that will really be of quality and standard, right? So the value proposition is a paradigm shift networking platform, like these events, and ecosystem creation. So when we go, the 4 pillars that we're targeting is networking, human resource capital, mentorship, and social responsibility. And what the different activities that we have been doing with sharing of jobs, job opportunities, and as received, we have event like business shower, where business present the business, booster master, where we share business on our social platform, and also we have discussion that touch the social part of things, and like Tafakari and Masulo Yakati, and as well professional and experienced discussion during our round tables with people experts in specific fields. And we have networking events and sales opportunity like today where people have the opportunity to share and present what they do as a business. Social outreach, we also consider the social outreach where we go and share the goods and to families. We have families, and you will see the statistic after. And we also have a mentorship of professional and entrepreneurs to really boost those that want to start in the field. Yeah. So as a statistic and quantitative progress, so we have job posts. So we plan to share. As a plan, we plan to share 500 job posts in our first year, but we were able to share more than 1,000 posts in our first year. So really kudos to the human resource team. And we plan to have at least 100 interviews, but unfortunately we're only able to reach like 52 interviews, but we're building on that. So we plan to have around 25 jobs secured, but we secure more than 25, we secure 42. That means that 42 people were able to get a job through the network. And on the mentor side, we plan to have a mentor registration of around 30, but we have a really large amount of mentors that came through, and 43. As a mentee, we plan 100. We had around 31. I believe the mentee were a bit shy, but we just have a bit of problem there. As a mentor active, out of the 30 or 43 that registered, we only had 13 that got active and committed to what we were doing. And then a mentee, we only had 8. So those are just low highlights that we will improve on, and we also need your support to that. So on a social responsibility level, we had 3 outreach events. We had planned 3 outreach, but we had 2 outreach events and a collaboration with other institutions as well. And we plan to assist around 67 families. But we were only able to assist 37 families because we had limited resources, but we were glad that we put a smile on the family of 37 families during this time of pandemic. And this was all type of goods. And that might be things that we don't necessarily share because of the sensitivity, but we do that with a heart that's full of love, a heart full of respect and consideration for the people. We had around 2 workshops, and where we kind of explain on the for people looking for job what to do and how to go about it. And as networking events, we had around 3 networking events, and this is the third one in Cape Town where it happened, and one in Joburg. A big number attended the first one, and some of them in Cape Town as well attended. And we had 7 round tables. We had 40 business showers, and where every Tuesdays people present the business on our Instagram, and as well 56 Booster Master, where we just advertise the business of the people. So you can go to the next slide. So as you can see, we really, at the back end, we really try to push and really working to make a difference in our community. And as our future, and as many people ask us, what's next? What are you going to do next? We want to set a permanent outreach and food drive program. So for anyone in need can find something in the network, and launch a skills sharing program, and create a fund to finance activities of the network through donation, sponsorship. You are really welcome. If you want to support financially, organize an event like this will cost us around 20,000 rand because of everything that will have to be involved inside. You got a camera, you got the screen, you got everything. So far we don't have any sponsorship. Also, it's coming from the pockets of the members. And we need a partner with organization working toward uplifting the community. We're planning on relaunching the mentorship program, collaborate with incubators, expand within SADC countries, increase networking events, organize an annual recognition events, organize market day events, and exposition for small business. So that's pretty much what we really want to do. And on the next one. So having said all of this, and how you might ask yourself the question, how do you think you can make a difference with us? And there are 4 things. And for that, I would just, for a few minutes, just call Bob, who is the founder of the 243ProNetwork. And we'll give you a word, and just so that you can just understand how you can walk the journey with us. Kindly welcome with me, Bob.
Hello, everybody. First of all, I would like to thank each and every one of you for the effort to attend this event today. We really appreciate that. We are really impressed by the turnout, and we really promise that we're going to continue doing our best to improve from today. Before actually even mentioning that, I would like to specifically show appreciation for the organization that have actually managed to also chip in terms of our planning for this event. And in that moment, I'm going to mention Maxi Cash. I don't know if you can give them a round of applause. We have Akata RDC. They are represented here as well, so all the bags at the back and everything. We also have Curtis Boutique on that corner there as well. It was on tight situation and circumstances, but they came and assisted us with the organization of the event. And as you may see, what necessarily happened is that for us to be able to bring something of quality, we need to be able to make use of professional services. We need to be able to make use of skills, and it costs money, it costs time, and it costs energy. So the first thing that we'd actually like to ask of people present today, if you are able to volunteer with your time, that's going to be something very valuable to us. Because what we're actually doing is paying it forward. It's not necessarily for us present here, but the impact that has actually been happening sometimes goes beyond what we can imagine or what we can come across with. I'm sorry for taking much of your time. I'm just going to give an example. I had an appointment somewhere one day with a company. We were discussing a specific business. That's on my day job. on my day job. I got to the venue. I was talking to the managing director of that company, and then there was a person that a junior in that company that actually came to attend the meeting because they needed to get some instruction based on what you were saying. And then in the middle of the meeting, the person say, "Oh, by the way, I got this job because of something that you guys posted at the 243 Network." I won't lie, I cried. And it's for moments like that we are able to actually do all of this. But then it's not possible with our own effort. Because the example that we actually give, especially when it comes to the job posting, before I would find myself seeing a job opportunity, whether it is on my LinkedIn or on WhatsApp, and I will just pass on to the next one, because either I'm not in the market or I'm not looking for a job or anything like that. So it does not necessarily affect me directly. So there was not necessarily any interest for me to actually even either take a capture of a screen or share that with another person. But then what we try to actually do with the network is trying to ask each and every person within the network that come across such an opportunity to take a screenshot and send it to us so that we send it to over 1,000 people that are within the network. At that moment, that information that was only going to be available to you as one person is now available to over 1,000 people. And among those, there might be 3 or 4 people that either qualify for that position or are in need of that job. And that's how easily we are able to apply the concept of economy of agglomeration for us to be able to actually grow this. So we really want you, if you have the opportunity to be able to assist us financially, that's going to be really welcome. But the first thing that you want to ask is that support in terms of your time, that support in terms of your skills. We want to be able to organize situation. I'll give an example. We're trying to partner with organizations like Mwanamboka. They're launching a coding program for people who are from disadvantaged background. These are various activities that we actually want to be able to partner with. We want to be able to get people within the community to be aware of and be able to support. Thank you.
Let me welcome Chris Mukenge.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that welcome, that introduction. It's actually intimidating what you said about me. And I'm truly humbled to be in front of you here at this great event. You all look really beautiful, radiant, energetic. Am I right? Yeah. Where are my brothers and sisters from South Africa? Say hi. Ew. Where are my brothers and sisters from the DRC? Say hi. These are the people. Thank you. We're all together. We're all brothers and sisters. Looking at all of us sitting here and imagining that this event, this gathering, this network came out during the pandemic. You heard Tim saying now. It happened in April of last year. Now, this is a crisis time. And everybody might be thinking, but I mean, pandemic, everything is going bad and my business is crashing. I'm not sure about my job. I'm scared of getting corona, hiding, and all those kind of things. And yet somebody thought about this. And this is, where is he? Did he leave the room now? In his absence, Bob, please, let's give him again a round of applause. And I would also like to recognize his lovely wife. Is she in here? There she is. Thank you. All right. So I would like to speak to you about the Creator in you. If you just give me a few minutes of your time. I hope you allow me to take off my jacket. Is that okay? Yeah. All right. I see some people there. I can't see everybody well, so allow me to move a little bit in here. The whole world as we know it, the planet, the universe, is connected. And we all know that. And scientists say that if bees disappear, we have a couple of years to be wiped out. Did you know that? Did you? Just bees. You know the bees that it will just sting me. The bees that you eat the honey from, they sustain the life on the planet. So what it says is that every being on the planet is important. You are important. I see somebody else important here. You too. And you there. You're important. Okay? We're all important. And this planet is a whole made by the Creator. I don't know who you call that Creator. I call him God, if you don't mind. Right? And this whole unit works in unison with extreme precision. And I repeat that, with extreme precision. To such an extent that I want to say to you that the way you are, your personality, your physique, your genetics is not a mistake. And I'm sure you've heard that before. But I just don't want you to know that. I just don't want you to know that, but I want you to believe it. And so, when something goes out of order in the universe, everything is derailed. Because we work in unison. We're all wearing masks now. But it started somewhere, isn't it? But because we are one organism, one unit, we affect each other in deep ways. And here's a community of professionals, entrepreneurs, businesswomen, and businessmen gathered here. Why? Because together we are stronger than apart. Because we were created to work together. Are we together? So that is why initiatives like such a network is so important to me. And that's why I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate the organizers. I appreciate the team. Thank you very much. Edine, thank you. And everybody who's here. I've had the opportunity to walk around a bit before we started, and I saw really the creativity that is in our community. We're a powerful community. Ah oui. Ah, permettez-moi de le dire en français. Nous sommes une communauté très puissante. Actually, let me greet you a little bit in our languages. Bonjour. What's going on in here? Jambo enu. Mama. Molweni. Mbote na bino. Est-ce qu'il y a des Congolais ici? Mbote na bino. D'accord. It works. And I don't want to disappoint you. But you know what? In that big system, you're just a little dot. But that little dot is extremely powerful. When I realized that, it humbled me. But then something else came up. I realized that the power of creation has been bestowed upon us. If you don't believe me, think about the planet 10 centuries ago. Just think about what it was. So we humans have the power to create. And when we come together, because there's nobody here that has the same set of gifts as the other. Nobody. And so when we come together in order to create, I will need to be checked on time. Okay. When I'm 5 minutes, please let me know. 5 minutes to go. When we come together, we're able to create amazing things. And I mean amazing stuff. Right? But we have to come together first in order to do that. And so really what I want to talk to you briefly about is about the creator within, as I said at the beginning. Nous sommes des créateurs. Le Tout-Puissant, quel que soit le nom que vous lui donnez, please excuse me to speak a little bit in French now, nous a donné une portion de sa puissance de création. Mais ce n'est pas pour que nous puissions travailler seuls, mais c'est pour que nous puissions travailler ensemble. What is the first thing that you ever created in your life? I just need an answer from the audience. What is the first thing that you created ever since you were born? I got sweets in my pocket. What is it? The first thing. What did you ever create? The first thing you created. I'm talking about a device or anything. La première des choses. What was it? Do you know? Anybody want to give a try? Come on, don't be shy. Yes, please. Give you the mic.
Oh, no, I wanted to whisper.
All right.
You created your soul, your essence.
You created your soul, your essence. You're not far from that. But remember, the soul is given to us. But I get what you're trying to say. You created who you are. Is that what you meant? Something like that. Just to add on to what you said, you created your self-image. Sorry, what's your name again? Sorry? Gladys. You created Gladys by the self-belief that you have of Gladys. Am I correct? How did that come about? Oh, he's so cute. Kiweye kibumbafu. Right? It stays. And that self-image starts, creeping in and staying in there. You created that. And you made a lot more creations than you imagined in your life. Many things that seemed random were not random. Because as I said in the beginning, everything in this universe is incredibly precise. Nothing is random. My presence here is not random. Your presence here is not random. How many of our brothers and sisters passed away during the pandemic? Many? Am I right? Can I just ask you for a few seconds, just rise so we can just honor them with a minute of silence? Let's just remember the fallen ones, the ones we loved, friends, family, and let's embrace them. Thank you. So, we create. We are creators. Can we just say it together so that I just know you know that? Can we just say we are creators? We are creators. Say it like you mean it. We are creators? We are creators. Thank you so much. Because we are. And when we create together, we become unstoppable. Now, I said to you that you created your self-image, isn't it? We've also created collectively the image of our society. Am I right? Am I saying something? If I'm lying, stop me. Sheba Congolais. Does it sound like something you've heard before? Congolais. Congolais ni mwizi. You heard that? Uh-huh. Don't act like you've never heard that. Some of you act like straight. I don't know that. What? We've all heard that. And we've said that. Yeah, we've said it. Let's not lie. It's an image that we have created of ourselves that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Huh. You getting what I'm saying? Because you believe it and you don't trust, and because everybody believes it, everybody start acting that way. And suddenly we become scared of each other. I'm out of here. On doit créer une nouvelle image of who we are as a community. Starting with ourselves, but as a community. I'll keep some comments out of the stuff. You know? Some of the people only visit you when they got something. Or give you a call. By the way, I got, if you got, share with me. Unenita, juste pour me dire, I got. Share. And this is what Bob and the group did, sharing. Okay? So, we are creators. And how do we create? I just quickly want to give you, as I end, thank you, a few tools for creation. Are you ready for them? The first tool that God gave us, all of us, for creating is our imagination. Okay? It's through someone's imagination or a group of people's imagination that we hear. Use your imagination. If you have never created a vision for your life, you're not doing justice to yourself. And when I mean a vision is from now to the end of your life, from now to the grave. That's number one. Imagine. Another powerful tool for creation is desire. What is burning in your heart? What do you want to make? And when you think about what you want to make, what are the emotions that runs through your soul? Now, talking about creation, I want to give you 5 quick elements. The first one is, if you have a business idea, if you want to create a career, just remember, number 1 is have a big idea and make it clear for yourself. What is my big idea? Oh, I want to create a business. Okay, wait. Before you tell me all of that, what's the big idea? If you can't write it in a few sentences, it's not the big idea. How will you make a difference with your business, with the organization you're trying to create? What is the big idea for your career? What's the big idea? Another point. Determine the outcomes. It's a powerful tool for creation. In other words, when you want to create, you say, whatever I'm going to create, what outcomes will it produce? Leads me to the third one. Those outcomes, who will they be produced for? Right? A fourth one. Collect material for creation. Nobody creates or builds without material. You want to be in fashion? Learn about fashion. Read about fashion. Interact with people in the fashion industry. Collect the material. So with that material, you'll be able to create through your imagination and your desires. The last one, that's the most powerful one. But I'm not going to share it today. Buy my book. Coming up soon, The Trinity of Excellence. It was a great pleasure sharing this moment with you. And let's give to ourselves a round of applause.
Mic check. Yes, un colo. Okay. Okay. Thank you very much for having me. I'm very happy to be here, and proud of what has been achieved, and proud of this community. So, can I be honest with you? This title did not come from me. Bob gave me this title. I mean, what is online payment solutions as a catalyst for digital transformation? Who is going to remember that? Like, there was a Tanya, she spoke about something, right? He gave me the title, I ran with it. So what I'm really here to talk about is how, as a business or an individual, you can take advantage or make use of online payment options to grow your business, your venture, your side hustle. So we are in the digital age, right? Every day, people are making card payments, often without even touching the cards, right? Consumers are expecting and relying on digital payment solutions to sell, to buy goods or sell their products or services, and so are businesses. So obviously, being in South Africa, none of this is new, right? We're quite advanced when it comes to payment services, but what is it that do we really take advantage of the payment, our sort of digital payment landscape today? You need to understand what is the need for digital transformation. Tech is not going anywhere, right? We are, if anything, it's moving fast, and we all have to adapt as individuals or as businesses. Now, what I find with small businesses is that we tend to think of tech as something complicated, as something difficult, as something expensive or difficult to achieve. But when you really think of it, what tech really does is provide your clients or your consumers with choices, with options, things that they otherwise didn't know existed or was available to them. And a simple example would be, we all use or we know of Uber. I mean, it's mind-blowing what they've been able to do, how they changed our lives. I don't even know what life was before that. But when you really think about it, none of it is really new, right? There's a taxi business, right? There's online ordering, right? E-commerce. And there's GPS. But whoa, they just went and mixed everything in one platform, and it's like amazing, right? None of it really is new. So just one question, something that my husband, who I work with, usually loves playing around with. Can anyone define what is crowdfunding? Anyone knows what is the meaning of crowdfunding? So I'll go ahead. A simple example of crowdfunding is something that we do every day, right? It's something that we've all done at some point in our lives. Lima Bonza, right? We've all, for a common goal, for someone's vision, or someone's objectives, or for the greater good, for God. We've all put money together to achieve something, right? We've built a new wing for our church. We've built a hospital, or we bought the pastor's new car. I'm not, I really have nothing against against that. But when you think of crowdfunding and, the tech behind it and everything, it's, you go too far. But it really is just that, coming together and joining our finances for a specific objective. So, yeah, we do it with a basket, and today you're able to generate a payment link on MaxiCash and have people from everywhere, collect funds for, your upcoming wedding or baby shower, and, you cash it into your bank account today. I have a simple formula when it comes to thinking of online payment solutions for your business. There's insights, meaning understanding your business, your markets, your consumers, and servicing them right builds trust. And with the right payment solution adapted to that specific audience, because not everything matches, you then build value for your business. Next. So, do not leave anyone behind, right? You need to understand your digital payment landscape. There's mobile money, there's remittance services, there's blockchain and crypto, there's POS, such as Yoko and so on. There's cardless payment services, and there's also cash. Cash is still king even today. And study your target demographic. I mean, who is your client and what would work for them? If you are targeting, maman 50 upwards, don't come to them with Bitcoin as a payment option. Like, you want to be advanced, you want to be aggressive, you want to be cool, but adapted to what it is that your people, your audience actually needs. And building value in that sense becomes a mix of two things, where you're chasing what's cool, what's the next big thing, what is it that people are doing or getting payment. Maybe we just shake and then money goes from one account to another, with also education, because you have to bring people along with you as you are growing your business in this digital age. Next. So, obviously, tech alone is not enough. When you have limited marketing budget, so you're a small business or this is a side hustle, yes, you might have an e-commerce website, but think about anything outside of that. Do you have markets show up? People need to see your face. So there's always, for me, honestly, as an e-commerce business owner myself, I feel that 70% of my business actually happens offline. It's chatting to people, exhibiting, showing off on Instagram or whatnot. So go to the market, meet those people, talk to them, right? And just some consideration when you are choosing the right payment solution for your business. What is the problem that your payment solution is trying to solve? Are you there for speed? Are you there for affordability, accessibility? Now, you cannot only think of it as you, the business, because at the end, all you need is to get your money, but it needs to be a pleasant ride for your consumer as well. So what is it? What is mobile money going to be that sort of game changer for your business? Or it's more just creating payment link and having people swipe their cards, whichever is the way. But what are you solving as a problem? And understand, obviously, internet penetration. How many of your consumers are really online, if at all? And obviously the future is mobile, right? You want to be able to transact on WhatsApp, on Facebook, taking advantage of the fact that everybody's first screen is the mobile phone. How do you make sure that, okay, I'm using this platform MaxiCash, and yes, it has a USSD module, so if someone doesn't have the app, they can still pay me. Or yes, someone can pay me from M-Pesa in the DRC, and I receive it here in the FNB. So it's perfect. So the good thing about online payments is that it actually breaks geographical barriers, right? Your consumers trying to convince, the Congolese community here in Johannesburg could be a headache, but there's maybe a Zambian somewhere who needs what it is that you have, right? So, data is a wealth generating tool. How people use their money, how people spend their money gives you important information into what kind of consumer they are, what is their behavior with their money. So you have Bertrand in mining somewhere in Kolwezi, and he sends money to his wife, Sylvie here, every month. And then all of a sudden there's a new beneficiary on his profile, Blandine. You're like, Blandine who? No. We are a FSP, so we do not disclose people's financial information. But understanding your clients' payment patterns gives you some important clues in how you service your business. Because, like it or not, the biggest advantage that the traditional stores or businesses have is the human touch. Okay? It's the fact that you walk into a store and someone smiles at you. They ask you how you're doing. You fit the dress, right? So how do you then, because you're online or you're in a different country, how do you then use elements or data that you've collected from the payment patterns of your clients to be able to know what it is that they need or when they need it, right? For instance, not everything is about money, right? So a game changer for us at MaxiCash when it came to engagement was wishing people happy birthday. We're a mobile app, so obviously we collect that information, right? We know who's born in March. Just a simple email. But you have no idea what it changes. People are transacting and commenting and sharing because whatever it is that you said in your email made them feel seen, right? And when it comes to then from a payment point of view, you're selling lipstick online, but you notice that it's actually men that are the payers, right? So they're buying for their wives, their girlfriends, or their mothers, we hope, yeah? But what does it mean? Does it mean that you need to have a marketing strategy towards the men, or you market more to the ladies because anyway the interest is sparked from them? Or you notice that your spike of transaction come mid-month. So you know what time you have to boost that Facebook ad. Because, boosting it end of the month is not going to help you. You want to position it in the right way. So don't sleep on that data, collect that data. An example for us, when the first MaxiCash transaction was for a funeral, sadly, in 2016, we noticed people with the same surname. One person sending from Belgium, another from the US, and another from Congo, into a wallet here in South Africa. We asked questions, so ask questions. We find out that there was a funeral, everybody needed to contribute something, and they found it easy to have everything in one wallet instead of going to collect, go queue at La Grace. I don't have a problem with La Grace. Or Western Union to go and collect 5 times, So what we do is we create that. We took that information 5 years later. Not everything happens quick. 5 years later now, people are able, with a payment link, to receive money for events, happy or sad. Lastly, stand for something. This is Bertrand and Sylvie, by the way. You can see Bertrand as a munoko supu. Bien sûr, Sylvie doesn't have time for him, right? But with digital transformation, there's never been a better time for social change. People are more aware or tuned or woke when it comes to social issues. So as a business or a hustler, think of giving back, what it is that you think you stand for. Put money where it matters. Be the change. So, we work with a variety of churches and NGOs to be able to donate and everything. I can think of 1,000 ways to blow 150 rand under a second. But through this information, you'll notice that 150 rand is a lunch for a child in the Congo in school for a week. So I think that doing business is doing good business. So let's be responsible. Thank you so much.
Today we're going to be speaking about Mwanamboka. Could we go to the first slide, please? So these are the contents of our presentation. We don't have a lot of time, but we really want to communicate what we're about in a short period. I will be introducing who Mwanamboka is. I'll speak very briefly about our goals, how we're set up, and the bulk of the presentation, my dear colleague Moody will take us through our very first initiative, which we're very excited about, Coding Africa. So let's go to the first slide. Here we are. So who are Mwanamboka? What is Mwanamboka? So we were introduced as an NGO, a non-profit, but the way we like to define ourselves is as a solution-driven non-profit organization. Right? There are many non-profit organizations out there doing different things, but what we pride ourselves on is really being solutions-focused. And what we think makes us different is that we want to build an organization that's really focusing on best practice governance and processes. We know that in our community and in the broader African community, I'm not going to mention other countries, but someone said the Congolese are thieves in Swahili. I can't remember how to say it, but essentially there's a lot of mistrust around entities, institutions, businesses, and NGOs. So one thing that we're prioritizing is making sure we have the right transparency, we have the right processes, we're an open book in terms of everything that we do. The other aspect or factor around which we're building our NGO is, well, I should say, the other factors are these 3 principles. The first principle is the principle of leadership. We think that as African people, as African youth, and Congolese people more closely, we're very quick, or we very easily identify the problems that are in our community. But those problems aren't going to get solved if we all don't get involved. So our first principle is the principle of leadership, which stands for taking initiative, taking ownership and taking accountability of the problems that you see. It's very easy to identify an issue. Oh no, these guys are corrupt. Oh, we don't have education, etc. But it's a higher thing that we aspire to actually take action. The second principle is partnership. We really seek to collaborate with like-minded individuals, like-minded businesses and institutions that can help us to scale our projects, which is why we're very excited. You know, Bob has been very welcoming to our organization, allowing us to showcase our very first initiative. So we think that's a second very powerful cornerstone of what we're doing. The third and final factor or key piece of what we do is fellowship, right? So leadership, partnership, fellowship. Fellowship just means remaining connected to the community, remaining in touch so you can readily identify what the problems are. You don't want to be too detached and making solutions from a top level. You want to be together with everyone, connected and networking. And I think we can all agree that 243 is doing an amazing job of that. So that's a little bit about who we are. I'm speaking a bit quick, so I'm going to try and slow it down a little bit. Can we go to the next slide? So why do we exist? This is a very simple question, but the answer is very broad. I'm going to keep it very succinct. Africa at the moment is home to 41%, or at least 41% of Africans are under the age of 15 years old. Over the next coming decades, Africa is going to comprise almost 50% of the world's youth, right? And we know that with youth comes the ability to work, the ability to consume. So Africa will become the economic engine over the coming decades. And with that comes opportunity. And we see that opportunity as it gives us a chance as an organization or as people in Africa to take advantage using our youth in a really fast-changing world to make a difference. But are our youth equipped? Do they have the right resources to make the type of change that we need? I think we can all honestly say at the moment the answer is no. So that's where we as Mwanamboka believe we come in. We're here to bridge the gap between those young people that are looking for a way to learn a new skill, or they have a business idea but don't really know how to access the resources or go to the person that will teach them the skills to pursue this endeavor, to pursue this aspiration that they have. So we're really just trying to be almost a middleman. We're also young, we're young adults, and what we're trying to do is say, listen, if you're interested in coding and maybe you're fresh from Le Pays and you don't have any access, you don't have money to go to a coding school, our very first initiative, which Moody is going to speak to, is going to help you learn about coding pro bono, free of charge, and afterwards you're going to have the skills to actually go out in the world and work as a coder. So that's really what we're about. We exist to be that bridging, to bridge that gap between people that are very aspirational, especially young people, but don't know where to go to find the different sorts of access, the type of access that they need to progress themselves. So with that said, I'm going to pass it on to my man Moody to take us through our very first initiative, Coding Africa. Thanks.
Okay, so hi guys, my name is Moody. I'm a software developer, 4 years plus experience in making apps, websites. Big nerd. I know I look cool, but I'm actually like, no, I'm really a nerd. So why Coding Africa? Software developers are in high demand in South Africa. It's actually one of the most in-demand jobs. Can we move to the next slide? So this is an article from My Broadband. It's a technology website. And they actually did an analysis of the most wanted skills in South Africa right now. So most wanted means there's high demand for it. Companies are looking for people with their skills, but they can't find them. And there's several different categories, but the top one was software development. It increased, the demand for software development increased by 22% from Jan to Feb in 2021, which is like the highest of any job type, any category. So our curriculum, the course that we're teaching, we're going to teach a language called JavaScript, which is pretty versatile. It allows you to make web applications, websites, mobile applications. Even like you can go as far as making like a Android, like a car. I don't know if you have Apple CarPlay apps and stuff. So very, very versatile language. What a programming language is, it's kind of like, how you have the Japanese speak Japanese, the Chinese speak Chinese, the French speak French. Different different devices kind of like speak different languages. To speak to the computer, you have to kind of like write the code to communicate instructions to the computer in that language. So for example, some of you might be a bit more technical. You might know that if you want to make an Android app, you need to know a language called Java. If you want to make an iPhone app, you need to know Objective-C, or Swift now is the new one. So JavaScript this is a survey that was done on over 3,500 software developers in South Africa by OfferZen. OfferZen is one of the biggest recruitment agencies for software developers, for software engineers. And they found that overall it's the most used language out of all. So there's JavaScript, there's SQL for databases, C# for Windows apps, Java for Android apps, et cetera, et cetera. And that's what we're going to teach. So it's going to give the participants, the students, the highest potential to get a job, to get a high-value job. And so a lot of people ask us about accreditation. It used to be 5-10 years ago, maybe even longer than that you needed a degree in computer science to get a job making software. But the industry's changed a lot, and now you just need the skills. A lot of companies don't actually care whether you have a degree or not. They just want to see if you can actually build an app from scratch, or build, a website. And there's a lot of disappointment from industry, from companies, because they'll get like students from university that have a degree, but they can't build an app from scratch. Like when you give them a project, they can't execute. And a lot of university, not to diss universities, I don't want to sound like I have a vendetta. I don't want Wits calling me and asking me what I'm doing. But there's a lot of opportunity. Like the OfferZen found that job specs that require a university degree, for example, are missing out on 20% of developer talent. That means there's 20% of people who have the skill to build an app didn't actually acquire that skill through university. They learned on their own. And it's very difficult for a lot of universities to update their curriculum because technology is changing all the time. So you might find, how can I give an analogy? There was, for example, Mixit back in the days. Old people like me will remember. And very quickly, a new app came on called, BBM. And BBM just destroyed Mixit, like almost instantly. And then later, WhatsApp came. And all of those different technologies they moved very quickly, and there were different programming languages, like I told you about JavaScript. There were different technology stacks, there were different frameworks. And universities don't really have, a lot of universities don't kind of update their curriculums according to like the tech landscape, what's happening in tech. And that's what's different, a little bit different about our program, is that it's very relevant. It's very much in line with what's happening right now, and it's going to be relevant for whatever we teach is going to be relevant within at least the next at least like 2 to 3 years. Let's move to the next slide. Okay, so this is what the platform that we'll be using looks like. We believe we don't really like books, and videos can kind of like trick you into false progress, a false sense of progress. You might watch a tutorial on how to do something, and then when you're left to your own devices to do it by yourself, you kind of forget what was in the video. So videos are tough they give you a false sense of progress. Books are good, but a lot of people find them boring. So like in between that is interactive exercises. So a live exercise. So this is an example of code where you have a problem that you need to solve, and then you have the actual solution that you need to code and output live. So you look at the problem, you write the code, you run tests, you fail. In software development, we have a thing called fail fast, and it's a good way to learn, because when you fail very often at something, it kind of gets burned into your brain. Sometimes failing often is actually a better way to learn than just getting it right the first time. So this is what it looks like. This is just one example of a larger module. There's a lot of different exercises in the curriculum. If anybody wants more information on the full curriculum, you can come through to our stand. I'm not going to go through it now because it's quite extensive. It's a year and a half worth of curriculum, but it covers everything from databases to designing a website, designing an app. So a lot of stuff covered. So this is where a lot of value added. Here's where we really add value. Mentoring and workshops. So this is an example of an app that we're going to use. It's called Discord. But basically once a week in the program, the students in the program are going to have access to senior developers like myself, like Axel, and a lot of the guys that we know from the developer community. And these people volunteer at least an hour a week to mentor, to tutor the students in the program. Because software development can be very frustrating. It's very difficult to kind of like, a computer is very complicated, but very simple at the same time. You can't give an instruction, or let me give you an example. If I want to say hi and I want to wave like hello, to make a computer do that, you have to give it the instruction to lift your arm, raise your arm like this, then another line like raise your arm like this, and then start to wiggle this finger, then wiggle this finger, so it's like if you don't give the instructions in the exact order, your program just won't work. It won't run. So rewiring, it's kind of like a change of a paradigm shift in your mind to learn how to think like a computer, and it can be very frustrating and almost like depressing. Like some people pull their hair out and just give up because it's so hard. So this is why this part is important. You will have the support. You will have at least once a week someone helping you through the process. This is why it's the difficulty of software programming. It's kind of like maths, part of the reason people shy away from maths is that like it's kind of difficult to understand some concepts on your own. So people just like run away from it, which is why there's so much high demand. Everybody wants to go and study the cool subjects like marketing, and no offense to guys who study marketing. No, seriously. I used to do marketing before, I went into IT. I'm sure you're all sold. I still have my marketing skills. So you're all coming to the stall after this presentation. So the value of this mentoring, we spoke to a lot of tutors, a lot of people who mentor at WITS, UCT, from architecture mentors to math, software development. They usually charge between 100 to 300 Rand per hour, right? So the average is about 150 Rand per hour. And every student will get that per month. So we worked out that that's about 600 Rand of value per month. Projected over a year and a half, every student in the course will get 10,000 Rand worth of mentoring for free from us. So not only is the course free, we're actually giving you... I told you guys I was good. No, but thank you, much appreciated. Let's move to the next slide. Almost out of time. So the outcome. What's the outcome? What's the end game? What's the end goal? You guys will be the students that participate in this course. By the end of it, will be able to build an app like Instagram. In fact, I think Instagram is actually, rebuilding Instagram from scratch is one of the final projects, right? You'll actually literally rebuild Instagram. You'll be able to rebuild it from scratch in like 2 weeks. And in apps like Uber and stuff, we're still finalizing the final projects, but I know Instagram's one of them for sure. So that's cool. You'll also be able to specialize in an area. So if you want to just make the database and you don't want to design the front of the app or the front of the website, or if you just want to focus on specializing on the front of an app, how it looks, the design, and you don't really want to focus on number crunching in the background and stuff like that. So there's a lot of cool stuff. There's also a design specialization, user experience design, user interface design, which is basically kind of like, I don't know if you've noticed how Facebook keeps simplifying their interface and how apps that were, what was that app? TikTok. How a lot of apps keep doing the same thing, but they simplify the interface, and those are the ones that win us over. For example, there used to be Vine, right? I don't know if you guys remember Vine. And now TikTok took over because TikTok is just so much simpler. there were a lot of dating websites. Now there's an app called Tinder that's more popular than all the dating websites because you don't have to do much. You just have to like swipe left, swipe right. I don't know if anyone's tried Tinder. You should try it. No, all the nerds are on it. It's really cool. So this is the outcome. There's also fintech. Fintech is blowing up. Data visualization, which is part of our course. So making graphs, charts for banks, so that they can interpret data and visualize the data as well. So lots and lots of opportunity. And yeah.
So that was, thanks for that, Rudy.
I didn't expect to go so fast.
Yeah, it was. They say time flies when you're having fun. So if you're interested in everything that Moody said, I think it was a lovely presentation, and you want to get involved with Mwanamboka, there are different ways you can get involved. Please go to mwanamboka.org or come to our store for more information. Thank you.
Appreciate this. I'm humbled enough to be here. I always take every opportunity that they give me as the opportunity. I never take any opportunity lightly. Every opportunity I'm given to speak, whether to 10 people, to 5 people, I always take it as the opportunity because I understand the secret behind giving it your whole, your energy, your strength, and your power. Remember what the scripture says? Whatever your hands finds to do, do it with all your might. So I always believe in that. Thank you so much for the introduction. By the way, I also run a PR firm. Beside the publishing firm, we also run PR firm that is for branding and marketing for different companies and for different individuals. If you're an artist, an author, or whatsoever, and you're looking for exposure, you're looking for opportunities to reach as many people as possible, our firm is capable of doing that for you. So, yeah, she already introduced my name, Mike Shamba. You know, it's never easy to stand up and speak in front of people. I've been doing this for years, but there's always a sort of like goosebumps, you know, and you feel nervous and all that. As a matter of fact, I remember during my high school times, we used to run a Christian movement with one of my brother, Glody. I remember the first day that I was asked to preach in that Christian association. I had written so many pages of the sermon. And then by the time I rocked up on the stage, everything just went blank. I couldn't remember anything. And imagine 3 to 4 pages sermon were reduced to 5 minutes. And then after 5 minutes, I was out of that place. I was like, yeah, thank you. But one thing that I've realized and one thing that I've learned in life, and the most beautiful part in life is the ability to overcome your fear. The ability to stand out and be courageous enough to look at what you can do and standing up and doing it indeed. Because you will never know what is on the other side if you do not swim through the river. So that's the most beautiful part of life that I've learned. Overcoming my fears, overcoming my nervousness, and being able to do what I do best. I'm just going to talk about a very simple topic today, because it is something that it's very broad, but also simple. It is something that I have learned through my life, or throughout the time that I started off with my career. Starting off as a speaker, doing free speeches in different places, and seeing myself grow over the years, actually. And then starting a business, getting myself the very first client. How did I do it? You know, when I look back as to what I did and how I did it, and then I drew some lessons out of it. I was like, okay, so these are the tricks that works. These are the tricks that works. So, I'm going to talk about growing our business through branding and marketing. As I said, I am a product of branding and marketing. I remember writing my very first book, which was somehow a success, and then wrote my second book, which is The Entrepreneur's Code. Guys, I was so crazy enough to start sending emails to different media platforms, asking them to give me opportunities to go speak, to go do a presentation about my book, to have an interview, to speak on TV and stuff. And many a times, I got 0 answers. Some emails, they've never even replied to them, you know. But through persistence and hard work, yes, of course, I started getting opportunities here and there, featured in different platforms, on different TV stations and radio stations. So hence, I believe that, can we just go back to the title? So I believe that growing our business requires certain elements, and these are the elements that I'm going to take you through. But I want us to focus first and put an emphasis on the word growth, because it is very critical for us to understand where we're going with our business, what is our vision of our business, and what we need to do in order to grow. Growth is a product of branding and marketing. Many people want to start their businesses just by branding and marketing straight away without understanding the fundamentals, which is the growth part. Now, I want you to think about, next slide please, think about the tree that you planted in your backyard. It was just a seed, right? You threw it in the ground. And when you planted it, I am sure you did not plant it with an expectation of it not growing. You planted it because you believed. You had the faith that it was going to grow. You had the expectation that as I plant this tree, or as I plant this seed, it's going to produce me the fruit that I want. So you see, it all starts first way in the mindset. When you're planting, when you start the business, you believe. So I want you to take me to slide number 3. Here the fact. When you start a business, you believe, you must believe that it is going to grow. You must have the expectation that it is going to grow. As a matter of fact, I define expectation as the power that gives flesh to a desire. The power that gives flesh to a desire. So when you start a business, of course, you need to have the expectation that it is going to grow. You don't start a business because you're trying out. You don't start a business because you want to survive. You don't start a business because you are dying out of hunger. But you start a business because you want it to have a certain impact for your life and also for the community. All right? Fact number 2. The growth of your business is based on the vision that you have. In other words, the niche. Now, you will realize that everything that I'm talking about here will interlink somewhere with what I'm going to talk about when it comes to branding. The growth of your business is based on the vision or the niche that you have for your business. And the impact, and it is defined by the impact that you have in a certain domain. Now, I want you to think about the word niche. Why is the niche so important for a business? Next slide, please. Yeah, let's look at this man here, this fat guy with a big stomach. Need to go to the gym. He's busy playing this darts game. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to put a shame on anybody, but look at him. He's eating. What is he doing? Drinking and playing darts. So this guy has a focus. Okay? He has this particular thing in front of him where he's busy throwing the darts on. That means he knows what he's doing. He's got the focus. So also in business, it is very critical for you to have that niche, because the niche gives you the focus. Let's go to the next slide, please. The niche gives you the focus, because we cannot talk about branding and marketing if you don't have a niche. Like, we need to know what exactly your business does. Like, you can't just come to me and tell me that you're just an entrepreneur. Okay, you're an entrepreneur, that's good, but what do you do? What exactly do you do? I'm so glad that I met a couple of entrepreneurs here and Mexicash who have a practical and a direct and a spot-on business idea. So they know exactly what they're doing. So you cannot brand if you don't know what you're doing. You cannot market if you don't know what you're doing. So it is important for you to develop that particular niche, because it gives you what? The focus. It gives you the focus. It gives you the focus. What is the value proposition of your business? The niche will define that. As a matter of fact, when I introduce myself, I'm a I run a publishing firm, so already you know what we do in a publishing firm. We do books. And I run a PR firm. What do we do in the PR firm? We run marketing and branding for different companies. So it is very important for you to have that niche. Next slide, please. Now, I just want you to take this small exercise. Okay? As you're sitting here, I'm sure probably you do have a business or you're thinking of having a business, but for those that have a business, I want you to think about this. In which level does your business lies in? I'm going to dwell a bit on this. We have the inner circle, which is your business. Now, your business, where do you get your clients? Many a times as entrepreneurs, we make an error or the mistake of thinking that our clients are, okay, you can't see this properly, are our friends and families. Okay? You are not in business if the only people consuming your products are your friends and families. That's not a business. All right? And many a times we get so touched when a family member doesn't buy into your product, when your friend doesn't buy into your product, when your colleague at work doesn't buy into your product, you get so touched. You know, you're like, but why? I thought this person really loved me. Why is he not buying into my product? Why is he not hiring my services? Listen, they are not your clients. Those people are not your clients. Yes, of course, they are going to do it because of support, but you must not consider them as your client. Now, many people who make the mistake of thinking that these particular people are your clients, they remain in the same position for a very long time in business. There isn't going to be so much growth. I'll give you a practical example. I've seen many guys that come into our publishing firm. They write books, and then after writing the books, of course, they host, book launches. People come, and they sell all their first bunches of books. Okay? The first bunches of books are gone. Then right after that, when they call people for the book launches, many a times it's their friends, their families, their work mates, and so on and so forth, people in their circle. Okay? People come and they buy your books and then that's it. But one thing I've noticed is that down the line, few months after, these folks die out. They can't sell their books anywhere else. Right? They can't sell their books anywhere else. And this is applied to any business that think your business or your clients are your friends and families. Now, what they mostly do is after a few months, so after 1 year, they write another book. And they invite the same people again. The same folks come again for a book launch. And those people buy the book again. Then they do the same thing. And over again. And many people who are into business, they make that mistake. They make that mistake. You keep on selling your product to the same people. Those people or those, your friends and families are not your clients. Now, level number 2. No. Let's go back there. Level number 2, we have the clients that you obtain through referrals. Yeah, it's good, your friends will tell others about your business and all that. Well, it is an indication that, yes, of course, your business is now, taking on and people are now believing into your product and your services. Then we have the last level, which is the clients that you obtain through your branding and marketing. And I am sure this is where many of us want to be. And I'm sure this is where many of us want to be. I want people to buy my books because they just know Mike Shamba. You see? I want people to get into your product or hire your services because they saw an advert somewhere. They were not compelled by somebody to be like, yeah, just buy it to support him, or because it's your friend, or because it's your family. You want to get to a point whereby people buy your product because there's value, and because they see the value in it, and because you've branded and marketed your service and your product. All right? So let's move to part number 2. I'm signaled that I've got 5 minutes left, so I'm going to rush through very fast. So now let's talk about the branding part. Now, what is branding? Many people think it is all about the Instagram post that you put on Instagram or the Facebook or the TV or newspaper features that you have. That's not really branding. That's part of the marketing. Okay? The branding part comes in you developing an impressive identity. You need to have an impressive identity. People need to know you for something. Hence, I spoke about the niche. People need to know you for something. You need to be the go-to person. When somebody needs help with a certain thing which is in your domain, they think first about Mike Shamba or Bob. All right? That is what we need to develop, an impressive identity. And by developing an impressive identity, you need to have a niche. You must have a niche. You cannot be a trader of, you do everything. Today you're selling bags, tomorrow you're selling tomatoes, after tomorrow you're writing books, and then the next day you are into properties, and then the next day you are into, mining and stuff like that. And many people get caught up in the term, I'm a serial entrepreneur. My man, you're a serial entrepreneur, but none of those business work. What type of serial entrepreneur are you? You see? You need to focus, develop a niche, develop an impressive identity. Let people know you for that particular thing. What do people know you for? There needs to be that uniqueness. There needs to be that uniqueness. You know, when I listen to a lot of Franco's song, why? Because I know that if I want to get advice or rumba songs, I know where to go. All right? Why? Because he developed a niche. We know him for that. All right? So it is important for you to develop that niche. If you are into marketing, stick to it and become a master at it. If you are into online payment systems, stick to it and become a master of it. I'm not saying that you shouldn't think of adventuring into other businesses. You can adventure into other businesses, but you need to create a niche. People need to know you for something. Now, once you have established that, now it is important now for you to start knowing where your clients are. You need to study your customers. You need to study their behaviors. You need to study where are they from? Where are your clients from? And know when exactly to give them the contents or the products that they need. For instance, I'll just give you an example. In closing, I'm sure that I'm not going to finish all the slides. In closing, like for instance with myself, I know exactly when my people wake up, and hence, when I decide to post, there's a specific time that I always put my posts. I don't just post anytime. All right? So why? Because I've studied my customers. I've studied my clients. If I post at 12 o'clock, I'm going to get 2 likes. But if I post at the time that I know my customers are active, I'll get a lot of likes and a lot of people trying to contact me for the services. Now, moving to the next one. Now, you need to find platform where, the platform that you master where your customers are found. Guys, you can't be on all the platforms. You can't be on Facebook, on Instagram, and expect the same results. You first need to start somewhere. Start somewhere. If Facebook works for you, master Facebook before you move on to Instagram. If Instagram works for you, work hard, master it before you move to YouTube. Next, please. Then these are the tips that you need to do. You need to create relevant, valuable content, build relationship with your audience. It's very important. People want to know that you care about them. They don't just want you to sell them products. You know, there's some people that get so annoying. They keep on posting the same thing every day. You keep on posting you with your book like this every day. You keep on posting those earrings every day. People are going to get tired. You know, build a relationship with them. Let them know that beside the book, there is something else that they can connect to. And hence they can open up to you. Next, please. Okay, I have more tips to give. But I've got little time, guys. Let's meet in your boardroom so that I can give you those tips. Thank you so much, guys, for giving me the opportunity to speak in front of you. And if you want to know more, get yourself a copy of this book.
For this next presentation, we have El Johnny, who's present here. They've prepared a demo of a system that they are launching at the end of this month. And the reason for this actually came about when a group of people embark on a journey to, they wanted to be able to save as a group to start buying properties. Group of Congolese people. And they made together, they went through different requirements in terms of lawyers and trying to get the understanding of the contract that they could actually get and everything that's needed in terms of that. And they managed to finalize the contract and they started contributing and putting it in a specific account and so forth, and seeing how that could actually evolve into something that allows them, allows them to save as a group for various reasons and opportunity. But then the aim went from only just trying to get property, but what if actually it could actually be more than just that? But through that journey, some of the members of the group could see pain points that they could actually be encountering, because it's required to remind people every time, hey, you know what, it's the end of the month, have you made your contribution, and when are you paying, and having to send Excel spreadsheets of the statement and how much money has been contributed and how that has been progressing. And all those pain points led to actually trying to see how to create a management platform, not a financial, not a bank or anything like that, but literally just providing a management platform that can allow people to start saving together as a group, people to start saving towards specific goals. But then they did not want to just save for the sake of saving. I mean, the name is Likelemba Plus. For those that knows what Likelemba means, in French it's tontine. Something one of the oldest form of Stockval, if I can put it like that. But then, if we had to think about how the Likelemba usually work from how our ancestors were doing it, it had mostly been a situation of this month is my turn to eat, le mois prochain c'est son tour de manger. So everybody was basically just waiting for the turn to eat in order for them to actually do something. So we told ourselves, but we're in a position where we have a lot of young professionals, we have a lot of people that could find different money that they could spare in different projects. What if we could actually connect those that are trying to save money in group for specific objective to, on one side, people that are looking for funding for the business, as an example, or providing enough education so that those people are able to start, let's say, invest in a franchise of a specific fast food, as an example. So instead of literally just trying to see how they can eat it on a monthly basis, to see how that could actually be done in a different manner. And we know there are different forms of saving platform, forms of stock vault management platform that have been available, and told ourselves, what if we actually try to make it in such a way that even if my cousin who's in Congo is interested in actually joining a specific venture that we're doing here in South Africa, is able to still be able to pay even with mobile money, or literally creating a platform so that when they're actually making the payment, which could be even done through MaxiCash as an example, once we are able to get an API, they are able to actually do that. So I would leave Eljo to actually be able to take us through the system.
All right, good day, everyone. My name is Eljonai Muninga. So I'll just give you a short and a brief overview of Likelemba Plus. So this is the registration form that you have. So basically, the way the application works is that you will have users who will create account, right? And through our admin, we can always manage all of these users. So a user, the first thing the user will do in order to create a Liquid Enterprise group, so we have what we call channels, right? So let me just take you through. So the person will have to give a name, email, password, and confirm the password. You will have to give a correct email address because you won't be able to log into the system because you need confirmation to confirm your email address. So after that is done, the next thing that you will do is logging in. So this is the current dashboard of the application once you log in. So you have a couple of navigation just on top there. And on your dashboard here, you have some quick links on how to create a channel. And you have a couple of channels which you could join. For example, these are some of the channels that we've loaded just for testing. And you could search a channel by name or whatever, and then it gives you the channel that you want to join. So basically, a person will have to, if you want to create a channel, what you do, you just go to your right-hand side. We have a navigation there just next to profile. We have a couple of navigation where you could create a channel. Just click on create a new channel. Then the first thing that you would do is to provide a channel name and a description. I'm just going to try and do something here. Let's say 243ProNetwork. Then you give to us a description on what the channel is. Some random description. Sorry, and you click create. And the first thing that you see that this person has the person I'm logging with has a couple of channels, and some of them are one of them is approved, and some are pending, and one is declined. So what happened is that you see that this is the channel that I just created now, and you see that the status is pending. When the status is pending, it means that nobody can join the channel. And in order for the channel to be approved, we as the admin of the application will actually receive the channel just created. You see that there's a channel that's been created now. We will now contact you as a channel owner to get some of the information like your ID, your proof of address, your some of other fiscal document that we need from you. And then after that, we will now either evaluate whether we're going to approve your account or we're going to decline it based on the document that you provided to us. So in this case, let me just approve. Once approved, you will receive an email. The person who created the channel, you receive an email that your account has been approved. And if I try to reload here, you see that the account is now approved. And you can always manage your channels. The way it works is that people will just browse to your channels. They will browse to your channel and request for joining. You will also be responsible when you have a channel. You'll be responsible to allowing who joins your channels. When a person, you see, for example, this is a channel. When a person would like to join your channel, right, they will just click join. And you as the channel owner will now have a credit or background check on the person who would like to join your channel. And then there's some document that you require from them before joining, and then you can always allow them to join the channel. So once they're in channels, now we'll have a part where a person will now be putting money together. For example, a channel could be like maybe a group saving or crowdfunding, whatsoever you want it to be. So, and people will just be uploading, and we'll have some integration with, for example, like even Mexicash. I was talking to them just now, whereby people will use different method of payment. For example, they do have mobile money. So anyone, for example, in Congo will be able to join the application and also start saving together with some people who are on a specific channel. So that's basically the application. And for example, on your profile as well, you could always make it secure. You ask yourself, how do I make it secure? We do have two-factor authentication, which allows you to always make your account secure. And yeah, so that's basically a little bit of what we have as an application. Thank you.